The Judgment Day is starting to truly cement their legacy, so we'll see everything that's new there. We'll also check out what's going on with Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, and more. Let's start things off with another update for Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. There's still no official name and label for this trio, but the three of them appeared on the September 1st edition of SmackDown, and that segment included several teases about their future. Bobby Lashley was out first, and he spoke about how talented the Street Profits are, how they caught his eye, and why he recruited them. Lashley brings out the Street Profits, and they make their usual entrance and join Bobby Lashley in the ring. Bobby Lashley's main message with this segment was that he wanted the entire WWE locker room to be put on notice that the three of them are coming for it all in WWE. And while they were making their exit up the ramp, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were making their entrances for their SmackDown match. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits blocked their path to the ring and had a serious stare down with the tag team champions at the time. But after a few moments, Bobby and the Street Profits cleared the way for Kevin and Sami with wide smiles on their faces. Now, in this moment, it appeared that WWE was teasing a future meeting between the Street Profits versus Sami and Kevin. This matchup doesn't seem like it can happen anymore, since Kevin and Sami are no longer the tag team champions. But the message is still there, and is still extremely clear. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits are coming for all the gold, which clearly involves the undisputed tag team titles, regardless of who's holding them. Another thing fans are discussing that may turn out to be true is a major heel turn being on the way for Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. And it does seem like that could be coming and has to happen sometime in the near future. Bobby Lashley's goal and mission is all about dominance and destroying everyone in their path. And that just seems like a goal for a major heel faction, not so much for a babyface faction. So their current characters versus their current goals don't really match up right now in that regard. If the three of them turn heel, then it would be right on par with the message they've been getting out there in recent weeks. The Street Profits are still doing some goofy things, and Bobby Lashley always has a big smile on his face. Fans just think that the characters are not really being that genuine right now, and how we could see the real versions of Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits once they turn fully heel. So be on the lookout for that. The versions of Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits we've been seeing in recent weeks may not be the final versions of themselves, and a heel turn could be coming. Let's get into some Judgment Day matters, because WWE Payback was a very big night for the group. Coming into the event, there was a lot of uncertainty surrounding the future of the Judgment Day because Rhea Ripley had put that pressure on them that if they don't walk out of Payback as champions, then someone was going to get kicked out of the Judgment Day. Which brings us to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest for the undisputed WWE tag team titles in a street fight. It was an absolutely incredible street fight match that took place throughout the entire arena and featured lots of big moments, false finishes, and so much more. Towards the end of the match, it appeared that Sami Zayn was going to pull off the win for his team and retain the titles. But due to the match being a street fight, this led to JD McDonough, Dominic Mysterio, and even Rhea Ripley all getting involved in the match. It quickly went from a 2-on-2 match to a 5-on-2 match in no time. And no matter how great Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are, the numbers advantage is always going to win in the end. So Dominic Mysterio hits Sami Zayn in the back of the head with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and Finn Balor covers Sami Zayn for the win for the tag team titles. It was also a big win for Finn Balor personally because that tag team title victory gave Finn the honor of becoming a Grand Slam WWE champion. So it's a huge deal for him. But it's obviously a huge deal for the entire Judgment Day faction. The big fan conversation ever since the official Payback poster came out, which featured all 4 Judgment Day members, was that it was going to be a big night for them, either in a good way or a bad way. And it turned out to be a good way after all. The Judgment Day posed with all their titles on the ramp, and pyro went off to celebrate their massive accomplishment of capturing all these WWE titles. Rhea Ripley went on to successfully defend her women's title later on in the night against Raquel Rodriguez as well, thanks to some more help from Dominic Mysterio. It was a big night for Dominic, even without him having a match himself, because he was the main reason why Finn and Damian won their tag team titles, and also was the main reason why Rhea successfully defended her title as well. Some fans thought that the big night for the Judgment Day would get even larger, with Damian Priest successfully cashing in on Seth Rollins to become the new World Heavyweight Champion. It definitely seemed like the story was there. Nakamura was putting in some serious damage to Seth's already injured back, so it would make sense for Seth to be too beaten down to take on Damian Priest cashing in. But that cash in didn't happen at Payback. It definitely would have been an explosive moment if it did happen though. If Damian Priest topped the night off by becoming World Heavyweight Champion, we would have been having a serious discussion about WWE Payback 2023 being one of the most dominant single night performances by a faction in WWE history. A faction gaining the World Heavyweight title and the tag team titles, on top of the Women's World title and North American title all in one night, would have been unbelievably historic. And the scary part, at least for Seth Rollins, is that Damian Priest is a bigger threat right now with the Money in the Bank contract than he was even in July, because now the Judgment Day has all the momentum in the world. They've got all the titles. They might be bringing in a fifth member soon. There's just so much going on right now for the Judgment Day in this current moment of time, that Damian's cash-in could take place at any moment and truly be the cherry on top for Judgment Day. It wasn't that long ago where reports were claiming that WWE was allegedly viewing the Judgment Day as the Bloodline successor in WWE in terms of faction success. And after WWE Payback, it most definitely seemed like that report was correct. The Judgment Day is having their fair share of history-making faction success, just like how the Bloodline did during their peak. So it's a really interesting time for the Judgment Day right now because they've got all those titles, and Damian Priest still has the Money in the Bank contract as well. So if Damian does successfully cash in while all the other members are still holding on to their respective titles, that's really going to shoot the Judgment Day up the list of being one of the most dominant and successful factions of all time. Maybe you can even argue even more successful than the Bloodline, because the Bloodline never held any titles in the women's division. So it's going to be very interesting to keep an eye on the Judgment Day from this point on. Will the good times continue to roll on for the Judgment Day following Payback? Or will there still be some obstacles for them to handle? JD McDonough is obviously the one situation that still has to be dealt with, so we'll see what they decide to do with him. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.